Hello everyone, welcome back to the Wisconsin Greg Show. This video is going to be kind of a combination of two. It's going to be a little bit of a life update of what's been going on in my life since you probably haven't seen me on YouTube for probably close to 2 weeks. And also it's going to be a crop update of how the crops are coming along. Some of my new subscribers may not realize that I have a farm. It's just a small farm, and I have 40 acres of field corn and 40 acres of soybeans. So I thought I'd take a walk out there and show you how they're coming. Some of the reason I haven't been on YouTube lately is one of the big major things is weather. It's been raining here all the time. It makes it very hard to do videos out here outside when it's raining. But I've also had some other stuff going on in my life, such as a job change. I was at my current factory, which is a candy factory, for 18 and a half years. And I could see there's been some stuff coming in the last 3 or 4 years, and kind of been planning ahead, and finally made a decision to make a change. So I'm going to it's kind of a box store, but it has an auto shop on it. And I used to be a mechanic for 20 years. I'm not going back into the mechanic area of it, but I'm going to be as a service writer. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. It's kind of took a few weeks before I ended up getting to that stage. I originally started out applying for a job on the floor in the auto department, just stocking the shelves and stuff. I wanted to go, I was planning, kind of thinking about going part-time. But then as I looked and investigated, I found out part-time didn't pay. Had like zero benefits, which I kind of expected, but I kind of thought the pay would be better. The great thing about the part-time is you could come and go as you please pretty much, but the pay was not very good. So then I was going to go full-time in the same job. They had an opening, and I've been waiting and waiting, and they gave me a call and says, well, they had an opening come up as a service advisor. So I went down there and talked to them again for the second time. The first interview was pretty short, I don't know, 15-20 minutes. Second interview ended up being like about an hour and 45 minutes right in that area, and there was also a lot of follow-up phone calls afterwards, questions and stuff I had, and they all the stars seemed to line up, so kind of went with it. So I'm going to be a service advisor in an auto shop. It's not a real big auto shop. I think it's got 5 bays, and so that's where we are from there. And that's another reason I haven't been on. It's been doing job interviews and filling out job resumes, and trying to get everything all settled and agreed upon and stuff, and all that stuff takes time, especially when I was a third shifter at the factory, and so I have to get up in the middle of the day, which is like the middle of nighttime for everybody else, and it kind of makes long days at work and stuff when you're trying to accomplish other things like that. So anyways, that's where we are with that. I was at my factory job. It's 18 and a half years right now. There's a lot of stuff going on at the factory. I'm not going to get into it too much, but I'd say like about half or 2/3 of the factory was sold out to another company. So there's lots of changes going on, lots of management changes, lots of personnel changes, people coming and going, and it's just been kind of a hectic place around there. So hopefully I can get to a new home and get kind of more satisfied. And one good thing is this is only like 15 minutes from my house. Before I was driving about 35 minutes. So it's going to give me about almost 4 hours extra time just right there in driving, and less gas to spend, and less wear and tear in the vehicles. So that's a good thing. I didn't really care that much about the long winter driving sometimes when the snow was horrible. And the job that I had at the factory, their attendance policy was very, very strict, so I couldn't really call in very much, especially if there's a snowstorm. You pretty much had to be there. It had to be like super, super bad. I think in the 18 years I was there, they might have closed once, and that was because it was like a national emergency or something where they closed the roads down. That's the only reason they closed. So anyways, I just wanted to let you know what's going on there. I do apologize for not being on here for a while, but there's been a lot going on between the rain and working on switching jobs and stuff like that. So I thought I'd come down here. I haven't really been out in the fields for a while and check the crops. Today I noticed on the markets the soybeans and stuff are really going up in price. I guess they're finally realizing that some of these soybeans ain't going to mature. There's a lot of soybeans out there that haven't lost their leaves yet, and normally they're out there combining full strength right now, but we've been getting rain like almost daily. Sometimes it's half an inch or quarter an inch, but then other times it's up to like an inch and a half. And right now the ground is just saturated. It's really wet. So the guarantee of getting a crop is not guaranteed yet. Like with the corn and stuff, if we get a big windstorm right now or something like that, that could be very bad. With the ground being this wet, it could knock it all down and cause a lot of problems. So let's keep hoping we don't get no big windstorms. We don't need that. We need some warmth and dry weather, and so we can get out. We can start combining. I've only seen one field in my area, probably about, I don't know, 7 to 10 miles from my house here, that's been combined so far, and that's the only field I've seen. People that do my combining for me, I just talked to them a couple days ago, and they said a couple more hours and they would have been able to get out there, but there was rain coming that day too, so I'm pretty sure they never got out there to do any combining. So anyways, I'm going to take you out in corn. I'm going to walk out there a little bit. Right on the end rows, it's not very good. Sometimes it's not the good best, so we'll walk out there a little ways and then I'll continue this video. I'm not very happy with the corn. It's not horrible, but it's not real good. Well, I think some of it's from so much rain we've had all this year. Another thing is like when I put the nitrogen on, we needed rain and we didn't get the rain, and I think a lot of the nitrogen just evaporated into the sky, so it was kind of a waste of money. So that's the way it goes. You know all the farmers we're always complaining either raining or it ain't raining, and we're never happy, but that's nature. We gotta have it when we need it. So anyways, I'll meet you out in the middle of the cornfield, and we'll take a look and see how it's doing. So continue on from there. Okay, I'm out here in the field, and as you can see ahead of me, there's a big low spot right here where the standing water is just kind of like not a little, but a pretty huge mud puddle here. And this is the lowest spot I have on the farm, but there's a lot of water standing out here in the field. The ears there's quite a few ears, but some of them ain't real huge, so I have a hard time judging. I'm not sure. It might come out better than I think because there's more ears. But there's other spots that look smaller than this, I do believe. So we'll continue on. If I can get around this puddle of water here, that's a lot of water right there. That's what I was talking about. If we get a windstorm with all this rain, it's not going to be good. So we're not out of the woods yet, just because we got some corn on here and it's starting to get dented. So excuse my video is going to be a little shaky. I'm not using the gimbal because I figured the leaves were going to be all wet. Just recently got done raining here, and I didn't want to get that all wet and take a chance on ruining it. So I'm going to walk ahead here and we'll take a look. I'll put you on pause here for just a moment. As I'm walking through the field, I see a lot of inconsistencies, big ears and small ears. This is a pretty good example of it right here. This is a pretty good sized ear right here, but then like right next to it got a small ear. I can't figure that out. And then you got a big ear. I don't know, it's just a weird year. Some of you that ain't familiar with what's been going on around here is like when we planted it, it got a late start because we were getting lots of rain in the beginning of the season also, and it could barely get out here and get the fields planted. But anyways, Another thing that I'm kind of concerned about is with all this rain and stuff, if we're going to start getting some mold on the corn stuff, which I hope that don't happen. So that would, they would dock you on that when you haul it in if you start getting that. I've seen just a little bit maybe, but nothing too spectacular yet. But if we keep getting rain like we're getting, I'm guessing there's going to be some mold starting on some of this stuff. Trying to show you how the ears like change. Some of them, look at how like small this one is. That's tiny. That's like a half an ear. It's like, but then you got over here, pretty decent, not too bad. Just been a weird year, but as you can see, it's muddy out here. It's like walking on grease. Stop here somewhere and peel them back and take a look at. Here we got a pretty decent one, and then we got a little bitty one right there. I'm gonna just show you the difference. Let me put this on pause here for a second. And look at the difference in the one on the left is pretty, that's about a halfway decent ear. One on the right, it's like a half an ear. Right next to each other. Can you explain that to me? I don't know. I don't understand it. But anyways, there's a lot of that going on out here. One thing is they do seem to be filled out right to the end. A lot of the big ears are. So anyways, I'm gonna get out of this field and hook this up to the gimbal, and then we'll walk out into the soybean field and we'll see what they're doing out there. But anyways, before I leave, or before I go into the soybean field, I do want to say I'm grateful for having a crop. It looks like we're going to have a crop, but like I said, you just never know. If a windstorm or something should come along with this wet ground, it could really knock it all over. So keep your fingers crossed for me, everybody, that the weather holds out and we don't get no big windstorms. We don't need nothing like that. So I'll meet you out in the soybean field in just a second. Hold on. Okay, I'm out here in the soybean field finally, and I'm back on my gimbal, so it should be a little bit smoother. And I got my microphone back on here, so hopefully the sound's a little bit better than when I was in the cornfield. But as you can see, they're all getting pretty good here. But let me show you over here. Look at the difference right here between the right and the left. The right is a couple bags I had left over from the previous year. So I used them up this year. It's just a different variety, and you can see they must be a little bit longer day. There's a lot of green leaves on there yet. The leaves haven't fell off, but this variety over here, most of the leaves are gone. I'm actually pretty happy that I have more of this variety than what I do over here on the right. But they look pretty decent. If I had to guess, I would guess it'd be around, somewhere between the 40 and 50 bushel an acre. That's for a total average. I'm sure it'll probably go up to 60, 70 some areas. But I got some hills that's going to lower it down. There's stones and gravel on it and stuff. But I would guess an average would be maybe 40, 50 bushel. That's just a guess. But let me get down here and show you some of these. But it's going to take a while with the rain. There's still rain in the forecast for, I think, quite a few days yet. So it's going to be a while before we can get out here and start combining. There's quite a few beans on there. But I'm sure they're They're all like little spongy rubber balls right now. They really absorb the water when it rains a lot. And in order to harvest, they got to be really dry to where you bite them, they'd almost break your teeth. So we need some sunny, dry weather. See, even I would say it's too wet to get out here to combine anyways. It's going to have to dry up a lot because it's a lot of mud out here. I'll go over here by the ones with the leaves on them here. And they even got further to go. So I'd say it's probably going to be a couple weeks, maybe longer before they can get out here. And that's weather permitting. And right now the weather forecast don't look so good. It feels like it could rain any second right now. I didn't look at the temperature, but I'm guessing it's probably around 70 degrees and there's no wind. Mosquitoes are starting to come out here horrible. And it looks like it could rain any minute. And it's really humid. But as you can see here, there's a lot of actually greenish colored beans on there yet. So anyways, just wanted to kind of give you an update of what's going on around here. I ain't been on for a couple weeks and I apologize for that, but a lot of stuff going on in my life around here, and between my life and the weather, it's been kind of hard to make a video. Some of you might wonder why I'm talking about my job and stuff on here, and that's part of my channel description. Gonna go wherever my adventures lead me to, and that's gonna be kind of what my channel's about. So you never know where it's gonna happen. But anyways, I'm gonna turn this camera around here a second and say goodbye to you, so hold on a second. Look at that gray sky. I don't know if you can see it very well, but it looks like it's a storm waiting to happen. Anyways, I want to say goodbye to you all, and thanks for watching. Hopefully you'll have some more videos coming out here in the very near future. And remember to keep me in your thoughts and prayers, me starting my new job, and also keep my coworkers in your thoughts and prayers too. They got a lot of stuff going on at work right now. Just like everything, some people love their jobs, and then there's other ones that are having some, hard times. Every job is different, so let's just make sure everybody is thought about here, and hopefully wish everybody the best. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll catch you on the next Wisconsin Greg YouTube video. Catch y'all later. Bye now.